What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Miles of Horror, the only channel that's going to make you scream. So before we do anything, if you guys could do me a favor, hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hanging out, subscribing. We're almost at 300 subscribers. So appreciate you guys. When we hit 300, I'll have a new intro video for you guys. So let's get right into today's topic because Vinegar Syndrome does it once again. Okay, they take us right back to the tape store with this massive release. It's been out for a little while, but I just finally got around to watching it. And I have to be honest with you guys. I didn't even realize a few things, but I'll get into that in just a second. So I'm talking to you guys about none other than Homegrown Horrors Volume 3 with the long vaunted, long tape store, iconic, classic title, Haunted Ween.
In a haunted house on a haunted wing, the layers wait to hear you scream. He's well rehearsed, he likes his role.
Sure.
Someone's dying, start the show. Oh boy, someone's dying.
But before I even get into Haunted Ween and the other homegrown horrors like Deadly Love and Revenge in Homegrown Horrors Volume 3, I got to give a quick shout out to Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 and 2 because these are some of my favorite sets that Vinegar Syndrome has put out. Set 1 had the iconic Winter Beast and Beyond Dream's Door. These sets are some of my favorite Vinegar Syndrome releases. I believe both of these are sold out at this point, at least the box set editions. But Volume 3, which is what I'm talking about today, is still available. If you do a quick once over on Vinegar Syndrome's website, let's just take a quick look. You can see that there is precisely 1,627 copies remaining of the box set. Now, this will sell out. Okay, it's not going to sell out right this second, but it will sell out in time. I can promise you that. And I'm kind of shocked it hasn't sold out already. This came out with in the letter, if I'm not mistaken. So I have a feeling they're going to be putting out another Homegrown Horrors box this year. Who knows what goodies will be on that? I'm excited to find out. But again, it's under 2,000. It starts getting into those numbers there. I would grab it as soon as you can because Haunted Ween on disc is big, guys. It is a big, big, big deal, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But anyway, so we have Homegrown Horrors Volume 3. Now, Volumes 1 and 2 are fantastic. Like I said, that Winter Beast on disc was a huge, huge achievement for Vinegar Syndrome. That was another monster tape store piece. And now that I'm kind of like really getting into the VHS game, it's really fun to kind of like appreciate these homegrown horror sets even more because a title like Winter Beast, guys, okay, I shit you not. I'm not even joking. Do you have any idea how much that shit goes for on eBay? It's like $500. Okay, literally $500. An insane amount of money.
Gonna cost a lot of money. Let's see.
And it's just it's insane. Like some of these VHS tapes, especially those rare, tape store oddities, like something like Winter Beast. So yeah, so it's really cool that Vinegar Syndrome is kind of using these volumes as kind of like a throwback to the tape store era, bringing these things to disc, and look no further than the long-awaited Haunted Ween. Now, I will say this, okay? First of all, you got Haunted Ween, great artwork on the box, okay? Great work on the box, really, really cool. You got kind of like a splash from all three movies there. I will say this about Haunted Ween. I'm going to give you a deep dive in just a moment, but this is the cover. Okay, it is an iconic art piece. Now, this VHS also goes for big money. Okay, and it's one of those titles that is just very rare. It doesn't pop up often, and when it does, it goes for like $400. It's a very very sought after tape. You got Revenge, which was super sweet. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Which actually is the sequel to Blood Cult. I forgot to get my copy of Blood Cult, but the most recent DeGazer video release from Vinegar Syndrome, Blood Cult, a lot of fun, shot on video type stuff. Um, this is the sequel to Blood Cult. So if you enjoyed Blood Cult, definitely check out Revenge. And then Deadly Love, which was my least favorite of the three, but I stomached it, I tolerated it. But Haunted Ween, now this is actually the reverse slit. This is the original cover art that I have on here. This was a 1991 movie, guys. Okay, it was an iconic tape store um, tape filmed on 16 millimeter in Kentucky and Tennessee, and whose basic premise is really about a haunted frat house. It's a haunted frat house party on Halloween night, and it's about as fun as it sounds. Okay. Now, when I first got into VHS collecting, it was after this Homegrown Horrors release had come out, and I saw this tape in a bunch of different places, and I'm just gonna be straight and real with you guys. I didn't put two and two together. Okay, when Homegrown Horrors Volume 3 came out, I was okay, cool. I'm excited for this, but I didn't really know what Haunted Ween was. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And as I got into VHS tapes, it has exposed me to um so much more of like the back catalog and deep cuts, etc. And I was exposed to Haunted Ween, and the tape has been out there a few times, and it goes for big money. And then I discovered that it was on this Homegrown Horrors Volume 3, and I was like, I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks immediately. So I watched it, and I just loved every second of it. It makes me want the VHS, but I'm not gonna pay that price for it. But a haunted frat house party on Halloween night. And to kind of backtrack a little bit, Eddie Bruber, the main character, is a grade schooler who accidentally impales a little girl while playing around on Halloween night 20 years prior. And that's kind of the very first scene of the movie. And what I kind of like about this movie is that, yes, it's accidental as far as the movie is concerned, but I don't really know if I buy it. They've kind of walked that line pretty finely, and there's a very interesting balance there. And I think that's one of the things that works about this movie is there is some kind of underlying balance there that isn't necessarily always what you think it is, which is kind of cool. But anyway, most of the movie is really about a frat house that kind of opens up 20 years later and throws this haunted house party 20 years later, and shit goes awry, and Eddie Bruber shows up and he's wreaking havoc. The tape goes for big money. The serial killer Bruber, is his masks are like these rubber masks that are really silly and cheesy, but at the same time quite terrifying because it's just a guy in a mask. And they're just super cheesy and excellent, and it hits. It hits really hard for me. The gore, the effects are super cheesy, and they're very practical. And kind of part of the reason that makes this movie so good. The characters are very cliche. Is a super hot, sorority girl who dates the president of the frat, and they're super sexy, and they have their issues, and they come together, and all that stuff. Um, there's a scene in this movie where the serial killer, it kind of has some of the frat brothers and sisters, like the frat brothers and sorority girls, lined up, and he's kind of killing them in this cage in weird ways. And people show up because they're trying to raise money for the frat, and people are paying money to come see the haunted house, and everyone thinks that it's real. Everyone thinks that the killings that the serial killer is doing is real, and no one understands that it's not real. And they're trying to say, he's killing us, help us.
Somebody do something! Somebody do something! He's killing you! He's killing
Must be an original piece.
Must be an original piece. She's really good. Scary Movies classic. And so everyone thinks it's like part of the show, and it's just hilarious. It really reminds me of Scary Movie in that scene. And so Haunted Ween is fantastic, guys. I am so happy I finally own this on physical media because that VHS goes for stupid money. And I don't even know. Let's find out right now. I don't even know if there's a DVD of this. Let's find out. Haunted Ween DVD. Um, it looks like there was a DVD, but that's about it. So this is the first time it was on Blu-ray. Um, to my understanding, which is a major accomplishment for Vinegar Syndrome. So when I realized, when I put two and two together, that this was the title that was on this Homegrown Horrors Volume 3, I watched it immediately, and I had such a blast with this. Kudos to Vinegar Syndrome for taking us back to the tape store era with titles like Winter Beast and Haunted Ween. Now, I will say this. I also watched Revenge and Deadly Love. Okay, now Revenge, as I said, is the quintessential sequel in a way to DeGazer Video's Blood Cult. Okay. It was good. I enjoyed it. The ending was kind of fresh. And the practical effects were fun. This is a 1986 movie, I believe. It was okay. It was a little drawn out and a little boring, but I enjoyed it. And then Deadly Love was my least favorite of the three. Deadly Love is about a girl who falls in love with a dude and on a bike, and he kind of comes back to life. If I remember correctly, and she find ways to kind of reanimate him in certain sequences, and he ends up killing a lot of people and yada yada. It was kind of boring, and but that's okay. A lot of shot on video stuff, it just tends to be a little bit like that at times. But one of the things that I really enjoy about these box sets is they kind of do like a feature film. Like you can tell Haunted Wayne was the feature film in this box, right? And then the other two are kind of like marquee build up movies. Like you'd go see like a triple feature, and it'd be like the front man would be Haunted Ween, and then a couple other before. They're not quite as good, and I think that's kind of what they're going for with these sets, right? So, Homegrown Horrors Volume 3, guys, absolutely banging set. These are some of my favorite sets that Vinegar Syndrome does, and I can't stress that enough. So much fun, these Homegrown Horror sets. I have all three. Way better than the Forgotten Giallis. I sold off a bunch of those over the years. And I can tell you right now, I would pick it up soon, because once these sales start going more and more will get taken, and wouldn't shock me if it goes by the end of the year. But you probably have about the year on it. But don't sleep on it, man. These Vinegar Syndrome things go quickly. So there you have it, guys. Hit me up in the comments if you've seen Haunted Ween, or if you've seen Vinegar Syndrome, if you've seen these Homegrown Horrors, if you have the Homegrown Horrors. And appreciate you guys hanging out. Hit that like button. But let's chat, guys. Hit me up in the comments, and I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.